Hello and welcome to The Mill. I am your host, Dusty Crane. It is the first The Mill of 2020, and of course, I spent last week walking through what my predictions were for 2020, and you may remember this comment from Jamie Stegmeyer that popped up in the comments right here. Pretty interesting guesses, won't confirm or deny any, but then Wednesday, the Facebook live stream rolls around, and pretty much right out the gate, Jamie more or less confirms exactly what I was saying here. Because it's impolite to pat yourself on the back, I'm going to go ahead and let Jamie tell you what he thinks the Stonemaier release calendar looks like for 2020.
It's pretty clear on the chart that the My Little Scythe expansion is next up in our schedule for 2020. Also in 2020, we have a game that's codenamed Sand, and I am sure that will be a 2020 release. There's also a codename Cape, which will probably be a 2020 release. Not 100% sure about that yet. And then there's Wingspan Expansion 2 and Tapestry Expansion. Wingspan Expansion 2 is currently listed under 2020, and Tapestry Expansion is currently listed under 2021. I think it's possible that will end up in 2020.
Hey, not bad, right? I said codename Sand was going to happen. I said, My Little Scythe is certainly going to be first out the gate for Stonemaier. And that codename Cape, I didn't know why, but I just felt like maybe possibly that was a 2021 title. And Jamie says, it's probably 2020. But he's not 100% sure. But the other ones, he was pretty sure. And then the one where I said, I don't know why I think this, but I think that the Tapestry expansion is going to go ahead and move into 2020. And that was confirmed too. So, all right, fine. I'll give myself a little bit of a pat. No, that was a pretty good guess, I think. But what was on that newsletter, I'm just basking for a minute, it's fun. But what was also in that newsletter was we have a new codename Draw. Codename Draw. Now, as soon as codename Draw showed up on the newsletter, I kind of had a feel for what it was. I don't know why. Again, just going with gut feelings. Codename Draw. Jamie has been talking a lot about roll and writes and a drawing game in particular, Just One. In fact, someone asked what one of his surprise titles of 2019 was, or one of his favorite titles, and Just One constantly comes up. Jamie really enjoys this title. That's a title where I'm not super familiar, but I think it's everybody is writing down one word to describe something, and someone else has to guess, like based on what everyone else did. I may have that wrong, but in any case, it's a party game. You can have as many people in and out as you want. So that was kind of what came to mind with Codename Draw. Was he really likes Just One. He's been playing some roll and writes lately. He's been posting like welcome to photos on Instagram, and roll and writes have just been something that's been kind of hot lately in the board game industry. I mean, there's a lot of roll and write games or roll and flip games or whatever you want to call them. There's just a ton out there. And at one time, Jamie did ask, like whether or not that was something that interested folks or not, or if it may have been the comment of, do you think this is going away? But then I also got to thinking, in kind of like the very height of, or maybe it's not the height because we don't know like where it is in peaks and valleys or whatever, but like at one time when we were talking roll and writes and it seemed like everyone was coming out with a roll and write, someone on the Scythe Facebook group, and I'm not going to say who, even though I remember just in case this is actually a legitimate thing, someone was planning on a Scythe roll and write, and it sounded like they had an idea in mind, and they had already had some sheets put together. They actually were going to go ahead and do like a mailing list if you wanted to be selected for the beta. And it seemed like with kind of the art that was already created, it seemed like it was something. And then it just vanished. And it was like, no, I don't really have time to work on it right now. And it just, kind of went away as fast as it came in. And so I wondered if Codename Draw, with the inquisition, the inquiry on whether or not we would be interested in more Scythe stuff, this roll and write thing. Could Codename Draw be a Scythe title? Could it be that Scythe roll and write? I posed that to a Facebook group and came back with, well, Jamie also likes games where you draw things out of a bag, and talking about Clank and Quacks. And so could Codename Draw be a bag draw game or a bag building game and you're drawing tiles out? Could it be someone else said cards, that it was like, maybe this is the Scythe deck builder? Maybe Codename Draw is you're drawing cards and that's where Codename Draw comes from. Another guess that was put out there was, it's a Western. And Draw is like, drawing your pistols or whatever. And so, yeah, there's a whole lot of Codename Draw. Obviously, when you have a one-word title, could be next to anything. But again, it was really, one, it's always fun to get a new code name and kind of do this big, think tank thing where you're asking everyone, what do you think it could be? Could it be a roll and write and you're quite literally you're drawing pictures? Or could it be, drawing cards from a deck, or drawing cards or some tiles from a bag or something? What does Codename Draw, in your opinion, what is it to you? I would be very interested in knowing. There was something else that came up, but I think I'm going to hold it till next week. I want to kind of ruminate on it a little bit. I'm sure if you look at some of the Stonemaier media that's been produced here in the last week or so, you would be able to find what I'm talking about. But it's something that was kind of mentioned in passing, and I haven't seen anyone pick it up. So I guess maybe this is your little teaser to tune in next week. That's not something I'm going to start doing in 2020, I don't think. It would just be nice to be a little bit ahead of the game. But Codename Draw, is it drawing? Is it card drawing? Is it bag building? What do you think? When you hear Codename Draw, what is it to you? I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Again, welcome to the first show of 2020, or goodbye from the first show of 2020. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you took care of yourselves in 2019, and I hope you continue to do so in 2020. Take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks for watching. Bye.